how to pass your motorcycle road test in Manitoba, Canada. Hello everyone, my name is Mandeep Burmi. I am a certified driving instructor. I teach people how to drive a car. So personally, I don't teach motorcycles, but I work with many instructors who teach people how to ride a motorcycle, and I also work with many examiners who take motorcycle road test. So the information that I'm going to share with you guys in this video will definitely help you in your Manitoba motorcycle road test. Motorcycle road test is about 15 to 20 minutes. In your motorcycle road test, your examiner will test you at traffic lights, so left turn at traffic lights, right turn at traffic lights, lane change in busy traffic, merging with the traffic, and some residential area as well, like going around parked cars, one-way stop signs, two-way, three-way, four-way stop signs, and obviously you will be riding in a parking lot as well. If you do something wrong, your examiner will deduct points. Minor mistakes you can have maximum 8, and no critical mistakes. So if you have one critical mistake, that means you fail your motorcycle road test, and they will discontinue your road test. Okay, so when you move from the parked position, make sure you check on both sides, left and right. And if you're going left, put the left signal on. If you're going right, then signal right. Parking lots are just like a two-way street, so make sure you're staying on the right hand side unless you see a sign indicating it's a one-way. So in this parking lot there was no sign, so that means it's a two-way, and I'm staying on the right hand side. So in a parking lot, if you start driving in the wrong lane, that will be automatic fail. Before you exit a parking lot, you have to come to a complete stop before the sidewalk. So here I'm doing a complete stop before the sidewalk. Then you check on both sides for pedestrians, cyclists on the sidewalk, and after that you can check on the road for traffic. When it's safe, that's when you go. So on this side, you can see on the right hand side, I have pedestrians coming, and they're getting pretty close to the intersection as well. And I'm also checking traffic on both sides. Now the road is empty, but now we see pedestrians. They are too close to the intersection, so we're just gonna wait, let them go first, and then you check on the road again, and when it's safe, that's when you go. Now we see a stop sign coming up, and we are turning right. So first you want to look at the stop sign and see if that's a one-way, two-way, three-way, or four-way stop sign. So this one is a one-way stop sign. Then you look for a stop line, because you want to find out where you need to stop. The first thing you look for is a stop line. If you see a stop line, you stop before the stop line. If you don't see a stop line, then you look for a sidewalk. If you see a sidewalk, you stop before the sidewalk. If you don't see a stop line and there's no sidewalk, then you can actually go past stop sign and then stop before the edge of the intersection. So that's what we are going to do here, because if you stop here, now you can actually see clearly on both sides, if you stop before the stop sign, then all these trees, they will be actually blocking your view. So again, if you don't see a stop line, there's no sidewalk, you can actually go past stop sign and then stop before the edge of the intersection. We are turning right, and now we are good to go. So here you want to go, you can either go in the right tire track, or you can go in the left tire track. Now your dominant position is this left tire track, and you also, as you're turning, you want to see how far this parked car is. By the rules, they say if the parked car is more than 30 meters, you are required to go in the right lane first, and then you change lane. and if the parked car is less than 30 meters, you can directly go in the left lane. So in this situation here, the parked car is actually more than 30 meters. So that means I have to I have to enter in this right lane first, and then I can do a lane change. If I go directly in the left lane, in this situation here, when the parked car is more than 30 meters, that will be automatic fail. So if you want to pass your motorcycle road test, make sure you follow all the rules. So now we are doing signal and shoulder check to change lane. When you're beside parked car, you want to have minimum 3 feet distance from the parked car. Just in case if someone open the door, you want to make sure they don't hit you. So if you're riding too close to a parked car, that's a possible automatic fail as well. So you want to pass your motorcycle road test, maintain distance from parked cars, minimum 3 feet. Now when you're pulling back to the right side, signal is optional. You can do right shoulder check. Now we see a four-way stop sign, and on this stop sign we are turning right again, and there is a sidewalk. There's no stop line, but we can see there is a sidewalk. So I made a complete stop here before the sidewalk. Then I have to check on both sides to make sure there's no pedestrian here, and then we are good to go because there's no traffic, there's no other traffic either. So same thing here, I can either go in the right tire track or I can go in the left tire track. You want to go in your dominant position right way. So riding in the left tire track here will actually discourage other people to pass me. Speed limits on this road here, we do not see a speed limit sign, so that means it's 50 kilometers maximum. So in your when you're taking your motorcycle road test, if you go over the speed limit, that's an automatic fail. But if you're riding too slow, that's also a possible automatic fail because that creates interference with the other traffic. You can go 10 below the maximum posted speed limit, but not, in 50 zone. If you're only doing like 20-30, it's not good. We are turning left here. There's no oncoming traffic. There's no pedestrians on the sidewalk here, so that means we are good to go, and we do not have a stop sign. So you can see I'm still in the left tire track here because that is my dominant position. It will discourage other drivers to pass me. So in the residential area here, the speed limit is still 50 kilometers maximum, but you always drive according to the road condition and weather. This street here, it's a narrow street and the street is curving, so I'm staying around about like 35-40 kilometers. And now we saw parked cars here, so we are, I'm doing signal shoulder check to go around them. Now look at this situation here. So we got this silver car here and we got this van here. Now you have to see how far this van is from the silver car. By the rules, if the distance is less than 60 meters, you can stay in the left lane as long as there's no oncoming traffic. But if the distance is more than 60 meters, so the distance from this car to this car here, if it's more than 60 meters, you have to go back to the right side and then do a lane change again. So in this situation here, the distance is actually less than 60 meters. So I'm going to stay in the left lane, and we are in the right tire track, but we are still maintaining distance from the parked car. Now the next parked car is too far, so I did a right shoulder check. I'm in the right lane and we are in the left tire track because that is my dominant position. Now we see another parked car. I'm doing signal shoulder check to go around it, and then right shoulder check, and we are back in the right lane. Now we are at traffic lights. We are turning left. I'm staying closer to the center of the street, and we are doing a full stop here before the stop line. So stop line, you can see it's kind of faded, but you can still see it. If you go over the stop line, that will be a general error, and you want to make sure anytime when you're turning left, you're staying closer to the center of the street. If you're turning right, then you stay closer to the right side, close to the curb. Now we are just waiting for the light to turn green. Okay, so we have a green light, and there is one oncoming car, so that means I have to establish myself. Now there's another car here, and this car has a right signal on. So this guy is, by the rules, he should be going in the right lane, but we know in real life people don't go in the first lane. They go in whatever lane works for them, right? So that means I have to stay here in the intersection, see what this guy is doing. So he's doing his turn. Now I can go. And you want to go in the first lane first. Okay, so we have two lanes on this street here. I have to enter in the left lane. By mistake, if I go in the right lane here, that will be automatic fail. So when you're taking your motorcycle road test, make sure you go in your first lane first. Now you can either go in the left tire track or in the right tire track. I like to go right way in the blocking position. So in the left lane here, the blocking position is actually the right tire track. Now we see a roundabout coming up, and we are turning left on this roundabout. Now you can either stay in the left tire track or in the right tire track, doesn't matter. Personally, I like to stay in the right tire track because I find if I'm staying in the right tire track, I am more visible to the traffic entering in the roundabout. And I also get, if you're in the right tire track here, you will also get a little bit room, like about 4 or 5 feet on the left hand side to play with in case if something goes wrong. So when you're entering in a roundabout, obviously you want to slow down. There was a crosswalk, you're checking pedestrians, and we also have this yield sign here, so you're checking traffic on the left hand side. If you see a car that's too close, then you stop because they got the right of way. But if the car is little bit far, like this car here, it's little bit far, then you can just keep going. And now we are in a roundabout, so we got the right of way. And left turns, before you exit from a roundabout, you signal right. So I got my right blinker on. I'm checking on the crosswalk here to make sure there's no pedestrian. And now speed limit sign on the right hand side, 50 kilometers maximum. So I can ride between 40 and 50 kilometers. I did a shoulder check, and now I'm in the blocking position again. Traffic lights, we are turning left, so I got my left signal on, and I'm in the left turning lane, and I'm staying in the left tire track because you wanna, anytime when you're turning left, you should be closer to the center of the street. Then you follow your traffic light. So the light, so far the light is green, and now we establish, make sure, like, if you are the first one, when your light is green, you're turning left, you are the first one, you have to go in the intersection. Make sure you establish, because if you don't establish, that's an automatic fail in the road test. Okay, so very important point. And there should be only one vehicle in the intersection at a time. So if you see there's maybe one car already established in the intersection, then you stay behind the stop line. If you go and follow, if you go and stop behind that car, that will be automatic fail as well. In real life, we see like 2 or 3 cars established in the intersection at same time, but that's not correct. So if you want to pass your motorcycle road test, you have to understand all these points. So again, if the light is green, you are the first one, make sure you establish yourself. Now the light in this situation here, the light turns amber. This car is in the left lane, they got a left signal on, so they are turning left. They are not going to interfere with me. There's no oncoming traffic here, so the middle lane is empty. This white car here is in the right lane, they have their right signal on, they are turning right, and they also have a yield sign, so that means I get the right of way. And on this side here, I got 2 lanes, so I have left lane here and the right lane. Now we are doing left turn, so that means by the rules I have to go in the left lane, but I can either go in the left tire track or we can go in the right tire track. Which one is the blocking position? The right tire track gave us the blocking position, so I took the right tire track. Speed limit here, there was no speed limit sign, so that means it's 50 kilometers maximum. There is a yellow sign indicating this lane is going to end, but we're going to actually turn left on the next intersection, so we will stay in this lane. So I'm going to do a signal here, shoulder check, and we are changing tire track, and we are going to, now one point here, you don't need to signal when you're changing tire tracks. In this situation, I put the signal on because we are actually turning left on this intersection, and your signal is supposed to be on when you're about 30 meters from the intersection. Now when you have oncoming traffic, now couple things going on here. We got this car on the left hand side, but they have a stop sign, so we don't need to, we got the right of way. You still want to be careful, but we got the right of way. After the silver car, we got this car coming, so that means you have to establish in the intersection. When you establish, you always establish on the left side of the intersection. Okay, so left side means you want to establish on this side here. If you stop on the right hand side here, that's an automatic fail. So make sure you establish on the left hand side of the intersection. And when there is a big gap between the traffic, that time you can go. And make sure you're checking on the sidewalk here as well for pedestrians. So now we are good to go. So now we are going to merge onto a highway. So you can see there is a sign indicating it's a merge. So we have a speed up lane. I'm staying in the left tire track. So again, this way I'm more visible to the other traffic, and we also have to do a lane change. That's another reason why I'm staying in this tire track, and this is my blocking position as well. So I do a signal shoulder check. When it's safe, then I change my lane to the left hand side. We are going to turn right next, so I'm doing a lane change here. Right now we are in the left tire track, but we are turning right, so I have to do a shoulder check to change tire tracks. And then you look at the sign. So we are staying in the right tire track here, closer to the curb. Look at the sign here. We have a yield sign, and there's no pedestrian on the crosswalk here. So that means you just want to slow down, check traffic, no traffic, and we are good to go. We're going to be actually going in this plaza here, so I have to change lanes right away. So I have my signal on, I'm doing shoulder checks. So same thing here, I'm staying in the left tire track because we are turning left, and I have to establish if there is a oncoming car. But in this case it's empty and there's no pedestrian here, so we are good to go. So that's it for this video, guys. I will definitely do a lot more videos for the motorcycle road test, and hopefully this video was helpful. All the tips that I shared in this video, I know they are very important. All the details, keep everything in mind when you're taking your motorcycle road test. Stay focused. Don't get nervous, and follow all the rules, and you will pass your motorcycle road test. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. Please subscribe to the channel because I will be doing a lot more videos on the motorcycle road test, how to pass your motorcycle road test 2019. Thank you very much. See you guys again.